Released in America on November 18th, 1997 for the Sega Saturn, Sonic R is a racing game that isn't liked by a lot of people. And I fully understand why. Yes, the controls are wonky, yes, the game has 5 racetracks that last about 2 to 3 minutes, and yes, Amy and Eggman are the worst characters in this game and are so slow it's almost impossible to win a race with them. But despite all of that, I really enjoy this game. Maybe you think that I have terrible taste in games, and hey, maybe you're right. But regardless, I still want to talk about this game, even if no one cares about it. This is not an episode where I recommend a hidden gem, or even look back at a game to see how it's held up. This is me just talking about a game, and anybody who wants to stop by and listen can. Or you can come back next week when I do talk about a good game. It's your life, man. Spend it how you want to. So, let's get on with it then. Let's reminisce on Sonic R. Believe it or not, there is actually a story to this game, but you'll only know about it if you read the instruction manual. Basically, Sonic and Tails decide to go on vacation, but before getting around to that, they see a sign advertising a big race. A race that Dr. Eggman is participating in. Intrigued by this, Sonic and Tails decide to enter to see what Eggman's up to. Little do they know, the race is actually a trap to distract Sonic so that Eggman can get the Chaos Emeralds. Knuckles and Amy just join because Sonic is joining, and that's pretty much it. Sonic R is an odd game to play. Control is always the biggest factor in terms of how you enjoy the game, and Sonic R's controls are the biggest issue with this game. It's a racing game with tank controls. Not only does this make everything feel off initially, but it makes turning to be the most tedious thing ever. If you miss one of the collectibles, it will take you a solid 10 to 15 seconds just to stop, turn around, and have another attempt at collecting it. Speaking of, besides just winning the race, another thing that you could do in each track is go for the Chaos Emeralds or the medals. There's 1 emerald in the first racetrack and 2 emeralds each in the rest of the tracks. All emeralds are locked behind gates that require a certain amount of rings to unlock. Once you collect an emerald, you must place first in the race, otherwise you don't get to keep it. Collecting all of the emeralds unlocks Super Sonic, who's really fun to play, albeit slippery as all get out. Medals are a different beast entirely. There's 5 in each stage, and if you collect them all and place in first, second, or third, you will face off in a one-on-one race against a secret character. Beating them unlocks them for play and helps them bring up the roster of characters up to a total of 10. Now, this isn't a lot of characters, mind you, but the main thing is that every character has their own unique ability. Sonic can double jump, Tails can fly for a short time, Knuckles can glide, Amy can hover over bodies of water and can activate a boost, Eggman isn't affected by weather or different terrain effects in general, and also has a missile that he could shoot at other racers to stun them. Metal Sonic is hard to steer, but is the fastest character barring Super Sonic, and can hover over water for a short time. Tails Doll is not only the most infamous character to come out of this game, he's also the slowest, but he can hover across water and fly for a longer time than Tails. Egg Robo is just a better Eggman, Metal Knuckles is similar to Metal Sonic but with the ability to glide like Knuckles, and Super Sonic can just double jump higher. Yeah, not the most interesting ability. Besides all that though, Sonic R is a basic racing game. Each track has multiple paths, can have different weather conditions, scattered around each track there's boost panels that take you a certain amount of distance depending on how many rings you have, and there's a multiplayer mode. But I've never had anyone to play this game with, so I have no clue what's in there, but it gets a mention regardless. This is without a doubt the best part about this game. The soundtrack takes influences from Europop and house music, and with that creates an absolutely delightful soundtrack, with bop and music and lyrics so cheesy and upbeat you can't help but enjoy every second of it.
Come on now, race! Everybody supersonic racing. Try to keep your feet right on the ground. When you're supersonic racing, there's no time to look around. We're just supersonic racing, running to the point of no return. Everybody supersonic racing. Come on, let the fire burn.
It's understandable to see why so many people dislike this game. Sonic R has janky controls that require some getting used to, and the music might be a turnoff to some people. But it's because I took the time to overcome the biggest hurdle with this game that I can legitimately enjoy it. Some of you may ask, well, why go through the trouble? It's because I'm a person that tries to look for the good in a lot of games, regardless if they might be seen as unappealing to a lot of people. Half of the games I've talked about on this show could be seen as bargain bin garbage by a lot of people, but I see them as diamonds in the rough. I guess it's because I'm an easily amused weirdo that values gameplay over all else. To me, if I enjoy myself with a game, if the gameplay itself doesn't hamper my ability to have fun, then the game has served its purpose. I play games to be entertained, and entertainment can come from a myriad of places. This just happens to be one of them for me. And even little things like how I like the idea of a Sonic racing game where the characters actually run on foot just adds to the fun factor for me. So yes, Sonic R is an average game, but despite its flaws, I love playing it. The locations are cool to race through and the unlockable characters add a bit of replay value. Honestly, I would love another attempt at the Sonic R formula. While I have nothing against Sonic Riders or Sonic All-Stars Racing, it just makes more sense for everybody to be in a foot race as opposed to cars or hoverboards. Who knows, maybe that new racing game will be similar to Sonic R, though I honestly doubt it. Either way, that is all I have to say about Sonic R. Let me know what you guys think about this game, but only if you want to. Guys, be safe out there, and sincerely, thank you so much for watching this.
Southside.